Hey guys, welcome back to the BuzWeaver channel. And in our top stories today, perhaps one of the biggest top stories in a long time. One that I would like to encourage you to share with your friends, your families, the skeptics out there that aren't entirely sure. But we will take this video, as we do with all our information here on the BuzWeaver channel. We take the difficult, we take the complicated, we take the tumult, we take the confusion, and we break it down into very simple terms so that everyone can understand it. A great video to share that I encourage you to share with everyone that you know, particularly since we're going to see a lot of this type of maneuvering still into 2024. So now, I want to emphasize here, I will be skipping through this series of tweets by Barry Weiss released on Monday, December the 12th, because of the sensitive information that is within it. But I will include the link below this video and encourage you guys to look through it and read it. On January 8th, President Donald Trump, with one remaining strike before being at risk of permanent suspension from Twitter, tweets twice. The 75 million great American patriots who voted for me, America First, and Make America Great Again, will have a giant voice long into the future. They will not be disrespected or treated unfairly in any way, shape, or form. And I think what Elon Musk is doing by releasing this information is exactly what President Trump is saying. Now, I want to emphasize here the 75 great American patriots, okay? Keep that in mind. Now, we're going to scroll through some of the material here and get to some of the areas that I want to show you. In the early afternoon of January 8th, the Washington Post published an open letter signed by over 300 Twitter employees to CEO Jack Dorsey demanding Trump's ban. We must examine Twitter's complicity in what President-elect Biden has rightly termed insurrection. Keep that in mind also. Rightly termed language. But the Twitter staff assigned to evaluate tweets quickly concluded that Trump had not violated Twitter's policy. I think we'd have a hard time saying this is incitement, wrote a staffer. Now, they go back and forth, basically explaining to one another that Donald Trump did nothing. Now, I'm going through some of the more sensitive tweets there that should have actually led to a ban. But here is something that I want to emphasize here, as in language, the weasel wording. Less than 90 minutes after Twitter employees had determined that Trump's tweet were not in violation of Twitter policy, Vijaya Gadde, Twitter's head of legal policy and trust, what a mouthful, asked whether it could in fact, be coded incitement to further violence. The language, ladies and gentlemen. As I have said many times, when President Trump became the duly elected president, these people could not psychologically or emotionally reconcile within their brains that Trump had been duly elected, fairly elected. Vijaya Gadde writes, thanks. The biggest question is whether a tweet like the one this morning from Trump, which isn't a rule violation on its face, being used as a coded incitement to further violence. If you have any context or insight, we should consider. I'm all ears. Now, so basically what she's doing is she's trying to find some way to ban President Trump, despite the fact that he did not break any rules. Now, I want to emphasize here very specifically, this is why things like hate speech would never work, particularly in the United States, because it's going to be a matter of who's enforcing it. Twitter is trying to enforce a policy on President Trump to get him banned when he has not violated anything, but they are using weasel word legalese coding, as they say here, coding, and as they tried to emphasize with Joe Biden, language. If you control the language, you control the narrative. It is despicable and ridiculous to think that this is what these individuals are doing. This is what infuriates me as a creator, because I try to make this content that I'm making right now for you. Yet I have to be careful with what I say. I have to be careful with the images because the videos will not get monetized. Now, as I've always said, I don't mind making videos that aren't always monetized, but we are being destroyed, basically, as creators across the board. Not just conservative commentary, not just commentary of mine, but across the entire just sphere of social media because of this absurd cancel culture, wokeness mindset. Now, I want to reiterate here that I encourage you guys to check out the entire tweet here by Barry Weiss, because it is absolutely fascinating, particularly the people that should have been banned and weren't banned. But let me reiterate here, for those of you in the United States and across the world, why the idea of hate speech would never work. One, Twitter is an example with Vijaya Gotti, who will say things and do things to find a way to destroy, ban, eviscerate anyone they do not agree with. And let me illustrate to you what I mean. Mueller report finds no evidence of Russian collusion. Exclusive. FBI finds scant evidence U.S. Capitol attack was coordinated. NBC News. Senate acquits Trump for inciting Capitol riot even as bipartisan majority votes to convict. But Joe Biden wanted to create a ministry of truth. Think about that. They wanted to create a ministry of truth. What is that? The Biden administration, the biased Biden administration, the biased administration during the point or the establishment uniparty during Trump's administration, all working together. This is why hate speech and a ministry of truth would never work, because it's all going to be a matter of who is in power. You remember what happened here. Good riddance to Nina Jankowicz, to the ministry of truth, another Vijaya Gotti style individual who would have been in charge of this ministry of truth, which already, even right now, as a creator on the YouTubes, I am still dealing with the AI. Why? Because these establishment, uniparty, wokeness, cancel cultural crowd who could not psychologically or emotionally reconcile that Donald Trump won hijacked our country, hijacked our culture, hijacked our language. And yet, as I point out, no evidence of Russian collusion, scant evidence at the Capitol. Trump was acquitted. What do we have? The January 6th Commission. Why? Why? There was no coordinated effort. Trump was acquitted of any incitement. Yet we went through with a January 6th dog and pony show hearings. The same thing happened with Brett Kavanaugh. So we found out in the end, right? Christine Blasey Ford said she was manipulated to come forward and speak about Kavanaugh in this negative and terrible and despicable, disgusting way, because these people are disgusting, is what they are. Disgusting. Let me illustrate the disgust of these people. 91 days out from a midterm, what happens? They raid President Trump's Mar-a-Lago resort. Why? Because they are hate-filled, evil, despicable, disgusting people who are full of hate, full of rage, full of anger, because they are not in control. Because they can't tell you what to do and you do it. They can't tell you what opinions to have, though they try. They can't tell you what to think, though they try. They try to manipulate you. It's disgusting, ridiculous, and everyone needs to know about it. So share this video. I've broken it down for you in very simple forms, and you can look up any of these particular articles. You can pause it on any of these areas and look up any of these particular articles to give to any friend, any skeptic, anyone who's out there who's still not sure. I've broken it all down for you right here. The despicable, the disgusting, the reprehensible behavior of these individual people and the establishment uniparty, and that's why I call them the establishment uniparty, because they are a collective. They are a hive mind of just ridiculous people who will continue their stunts and their absurdity. Thanks to Elon Musk, we are now revealing it. I can now say it with receipts, as the young kids like to say. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your continued support, all of you across all of social media, Rumble, BitChute, Odyssey, DTube, and, of course, everyone here on YouTube. That will be the channel icon appearing right there on the screen. You can click on that to subscribe. as well as to click on that for notifications so you know when there's content here on the channel. And I'll see all of you guys in the next video.